Hello, my name is Lent, which you call me Lent, and welcome to this video. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to build a Asian style build such as this one. A little bit different, but in the same style, and it is it's easy to compartmentalize, and yeah, it would be quite easy to build something in this style and make it your own. You put your own shape on as well. There are some pointers, but yeah, let's just start building. What I'm looking at here is just a area with pillars, which I will use to shape my building. This is kind of just an outline, something that you will see in this build as well. Here we have a pillar, a gap of 3, another pillar, gap of 3, another pillar. This is a pattern that replicates throughout the whole build. This is what the elements are based on. This is why the style will be very easy to copy and expand upon, and yeah. So this is kind of the shape that I'm currently going for. And yeah, let's just start making one of these kind of porch designs. Now I'm doing this on a half slab, these porches, and this is for a rather simple reason, and that is viewing pleasure when you're standing on the porch. And what I mean with this is, so this is kind of an element. This is one of the basic elements that I'm going for. If we stand just on this porch, we have on the just like the second block of height, this is completely open, and this is a kind of comfortable angle, comfortable space to look out of. This is also why windows are also on like the second and third block seen from the floor, because it just then you can have the maximum viewing, kind of, yeah, the best angles, unless you're looking down and really high up. But the reason why this is on a half slab and why I'm not just doing this on ground floor is because I want to do this design as well, and that is you just can't do that if it's not on a half slab, and because this is more of the more detailed decorative design that I think is actually making this stuff look a lot cooler. This is more of the simple design. Let's make one of those as well. So it's all pretty simple. It's just I'm now using only one wood type, but I would do this with different wood types as well, because now it's all one uniform color. But I might just do, let's say, turn this into a different wood type. It breaks it up a bit. So yeah, this is kind of the two sides for porches design that I'm working with at this moment. You can also turn these in a door, so now we kind of have a door with ornaments on the sides. Yeah, this is quite a good element to work with. I think it looks very decorative in my opinion, so I quite like these. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, so now we have kind of the porch part done, and now we're going on to the roof part, and I'm going for this design. What can I tell about it? Let's just start making it. The best way of doing this is just doing by example, I think. So let me get the appropriate blocks, slab, and so I'm just going to stick these. It's not very important what is on top because you won't really see them. Now I'm just topping them off like you would do like most of the pillar designs that you see, just with these stair blocks to create to create arches. And I tend to make a lot of arches in my build, and that's because it's a very natural shape, and it looks solid, it looks well supported. I think it's yeah, I think it looks good. So I personally am a great fan of arches. Stick them everywhere in builds because decorative, look natural, look good. It brings a certain flow to buildings, and that tends to be a good thing, really. Now I'm doubting myself how I do these ends. I'm just doing these with wood. Okay. That's I'm not sure. I might switch up on that. But yeah, the kind of design that I go for. There's a pillar underneath this block again. I'm going one slab up and another slab up, and we're always pointing towards one of these other pillars. And the kind of design that I'm currently going with is somewhat limited because I have only a design to span one of these 3 wide gaps, and this means that any building with one of these areas which would need to go 2 up for, like, to get to a center, that I'm unable to reach these gaps. But this means just that I will do a 2nd story floor on a lot of buildings. At this moment I might yeah, if I get inspiration for another kind of tileable, easy to replicate roof design for this style, then I will update you on that. And I'm just filling in these gaps with nether brick stairs in this texture pack, and I don't think this texture pack is public still, and I will ask around to see if I can put it like a Mediafire download, so that everybody can have this texture pack. But I'm not sure. It's not my texture pack, so I'm not. Yeah, I can't be sharing it around. So you need to make these pillars higher, and now we kind of start to see a pattern. Oh, I made these with wood because wooden supports I would rather have than stone for kind of these side designs. I might do something like this. No, these ends aren't sitting quite right with me at the moment, but we'll work them out. And now we get kind of to the building. I'm not sure if I will make all of this 1st and 2nd floor, because, as I said, it is very flexible. The way I'm currently doing is, I might actually do. I'm just thinking in my head because I can switch this up and make it like have a balcony in this corner, kind of like I'm doing here, where there's this house is like 2 stories. Here's an entrance, and down below is a floor for entrance, because inside of this building isn't that much space to go in between floors. I can do another story floor kind of thing here, that would shape this roof kind of oddly. So I'm just pondering about things. Let's just go with this basic model for the moment. I will work that stuff out off camera, and once I've worked it out I might do another build video on that. I definitely need to develop this style a bit further, because it is quite limited in the way I'm doing it now. Like, I have no real way of dealing with some more yeah, it's still rather basic, but we'll work it out, and this is a stepping stone towards a more developed style. So I'm putting up the wooden framework again. On the 1st floor we have a 3 high gap between the wood. Between the horizontal wooden beams on it 2, and again on this floor we have 2 as well, but with the difference that we will have a different wall design on the 1st floor than on the 2nd floor, and this is because of the height of the ceiling. And I'm just sticking in white wool blocks as rice paper walls, kind of in the walls here, leaving a 2 open gap. I don't want to have windows in every element, but I'm just thinking which ones will be pointed outwards. When I'm starting to put them in kind of a town setting, I will look which directions will be dead walls and which directions will actually have a good decent view. I want to keep the windows with a good view, and I want to block the ones off which have a horrible view. And like the corners with horrible views can be more of a cozy sitting corner rather than like an open airy space with a lot of light. So we will work out when we are actually putting these buildings in a city, more of a village setting, because first we need to see how this is going to work out. And here we have, for example, one wall which would absolutely pointless to have a window in, so we're covering this up. As windows, I just use fences. So this is the basic shape, and we can already see how this is going to end up, right? Again, on top I do these corner elements, just upside down stairs. So where we have these roofs, we kind of get this kind of two stairs on top of each other. I'm not really happy how it covers up the wood, but yeah, again, I kind of need to develop the style a bit further. Nevertheless, this is kind of the easy basic way of doing it. I think a lot of people will probably prefer this way of doing it, because the more complex rules I start to introduce to develop this style further, the more it will confuse people. And yeah, you as the viewer, you can just go in a survival world, gather the resources and build something like this quite easily. It's not really resource intensive. I use a lot of different wood types because I have access to them in the creative menu, but you can do them with other wood types as well. Just one wood would probably already work. It would be better to use various wood types, but it is possible to do with one type of wood. So this is not that resource intensive building to make, and this might actually be interesting for those who like to play survival. Are we getting to the center? We do 2 stairs up, because we started out on top of the pillar, something we didn't do here. We started beside it. That is because if you're standing on the ground, well, you won't see the roof kind of at all. But if you're standing on the ground from more of this, and you can still see some like pointy roof. But if you were to do the same, it would be 1 block lower, and the roof would be kind of obscured. So this is why this square central region has a slightly different roof design and uses 2 stairs instead of 1 stair. So yeah, this is I'm creating and breaking these rules as I go, because definitely as a builder the end result is always the only thing that matters, and it's the most important part to keep in your mind. How will it look? Will it look good? And these rules are just to simplify it for other people, and so that they can copy it. And yeah, they are not intended for me, because I'm developing this style and I will change it as I go whenever I please. But if you want to straightforward copy this style, then of course you need a set of rules, guidelines to go by. So yeah, what I'm doing here is just, this corner will probably stay wood. Well, it's covered from all angles, so I can also make this cobblestone. Not that anybody will see it, but I'm doing it nevertheless, because at some point you might actually want to make it like a higher tower, and it's the small little things that yeah, it always take care for the details. And on top, this is a wall, and on top of the wall we do a nether brick fence, which is black in my texture pack. So then it works out nicely. Could potentially do also something with a dragon egg, probably as a decorative feature. Dragon egg. No, that's definitely too overpowering. But if it's like a build of such size, then it wouldn't be overpowering. So no, it's for these small builds it's too overpowering. I will have dragon eggs everywhere. But for the bigger ones, I might actually do something as a decorative feature with dragon eggs. They're quite solid blocks. Well, they have an oval shape, but they're quite pronounced, quite obvious. Quite the eye catchers. So I would use dragon eggs restrictively. One thing that I've left is just fill in the windows with fences until I have decided how I'm going to put these buildings in a village. Because as I said earlier, it matters most to have a few windows with a decent view, and that is the most important factor for windows, to have a great view. And I will decide later which windows I will get rid of and which ones I will keep. But yeah, this depends on how I'm going to arrange it in a town. So what we have now, this side is really quite dull. If you look at it from this angle, it is boring. And from this side as well, it looks really like in a apartment complex, something postmodern, or well, something just more modern, more current times. So I might actually do something, and I would probably do it on this corner to break the view. Oh wait, this is not the way I do it. Yeah, this is again not something that I planned right from the beginning. I might actually, if I stick it next to a building with a similar shape, I can do something like an arch going from one building to another, creating a let's say a roofed overhang thing where people can stand underneath out of the weather if it would like snow or stuff. So yeah, for the purpose of this tutorial, I think I've shown how you can compartmentalize this style, how you can replicate it, how you can toy around with it. So yeah, let's keep it at this, and at a later point I will go with more details. Like all of these buildings, like, well, not all of them, but quite a few of them will have like gardens surrounding them with more of a, I don't know, probably one of those might be blossoming trees, those pink ones, or citrus trees, or something fitting, something that will accommodate nicely. And I will probably have some walled off gardens, Zen gardens, yin and yang, all that sort of stuff, themed stuff to fit with this style. So these are just plain dull, boring buildings, and we will really bring them to life at a later point when we're actually shaping a village, a town, and starting to create the story kind of the village. There's also no door in this at the moment. I would probably do it underneath this overhang. Yep. And do I do this on the stairs? I'm going to do a little bit of a step up already outside of the building.